допомогти мені знайти таку роботу, бо я б хотіла працювати. До кого я можу звернутися? Мені цей статус якось треба підтвердити, чи пройти лікарів. Порадьте, будь ласка, як мені бути.
Okay, the Miss Oksana had a question about her, she has actually a problem with the health. She is a person with disabilities, and she got, she didn't get improved, she didn't get any confirmation about that in the Netherlands. And the main question, can she confirm that she is person with disabilities? Should she do that? And the second question is how she can work as maybe as a lawyer, because she is actually the lawyer and she can't work as a simple worker on the factory. She can't do any hard things. She can lift any weight and so on. And actually, for her case, she got only those kind of proposition and nothing about maybe, I don't know, maybe intelligent work and so on. Well, the main question is, how does it work, the system with the people who has any disabilities? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And what's her situation at this moment? She has an employment contract, I think.
No, she hasn't anything. She just came here for, I didn't get for how long she's in Netherlands, but not for a long time actually.
Okay.
So just like maybe few. Пані Оксано, скільки ви тут знаходитесь в Нідерландах по часу? Місяць, два чи півроку?
Ми знаходимося місяць, наразі ми тільки отримали от BSN.
Okay, I thank you. Так, дякую. She's here for 1 month.
Okay. Yeah, because normally you have benefits, social benefits in the Netherlands, a social security system, but it depends on when you have an employment contract or not. Now, she didn't have an employment contract. Then sometimes, yeah, the best thing to do is to go to the how to say in Dutch it's gemeente. Do you know what I mean with gemeente? It's the governmental local. Yeah.
Of course I do know. I can explain for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. To ask, it's possible to have some rights at this moment, because I'm not sure. She's a short time in the Netherlands, I understand, for 1 month. But the best thing to do is to go there and ask for support.
Okay, could you tell me please which department she has to ask for, because we have several parts of Hemensa, which one she has to ask? Do you have any specific maybe, I don't know, department or person who is doing that? I don't know.
A department within the local government, you mean? Yeah, the social dienst is the name.
Social dienst, okay. How she can find information about this department? Just go via website and just like using internet?
Yes, I think the website is the best thing to do. Sometimes it's also possible to go there physically, but it depends on the place, if it's possible or not.
Okay, thank you so much for great answer. Well, так, пані Оксана, для вас є можливість це назначити, є можливість, знаходитесь, будь ласка, скажіть, де ви саме знаходитесь? Бо якщо ви в Роттердамі чи дуже близько, то я можу сказати, де саме знаходиться Хемента і так далі, бо це в Нідерландах є така уряд, називається Хемента. Хемента – це як місцеве самоврядування. Ви можете назначити там зустріч, і вони можуть вам допомогти допомогти з вирішенням вашої проблеми. Тобто ви можете спитати в них, чи можуть бути наявні за даний момент якісь, можливо, певні підтримка якась в вашому випадку. Тобто основна відповідь – це працювати з Хементою, з контактом з нею. І департамент називається Social Dienst. Я сподіваюся, правильно напишу. I hope I will write it well. Can you write down the name of the department, Mrs. Sacha, if it's possible? Because I don't think that I can do it well. The name of the department, Social Dienst. It's in Dutch.
Yes. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Так, Оксана, чи все зрозуміло? Тобто за основна відповідь це була щодо Хементи, і вам треба знайти оцей локальний ваш уряд, або ви живете, можна, на локації, у вас є менеджера на локації, то вони можуть допомогти вам зробити appointment, тобто зустріч назначити з нею, або, можливо, навіть якщо вони можуть з вами піти туди. Це було на наших локаціях, так, наприклад.
Тобто мені потрібно переїхалися їхати, так? І
так,
казати
вам
їм про...
треба...
Угу.
Ну так, це відповідь від місіс Саші, тобто основна це робота з урядом пряма. Дякую.
Так зможуть допомогти. Я дуже дякую вам за відповідь. Дякую.
Будь ласка.
Адел, там дивись, в чаті є англійською мовою вже
Да.
питання.
Okay, I will read it out. Okay, I'm the person pregnant for 26. She's on 26 weeks, and on her 1-year contract, her contract will be finished on 12th of December, and company informed her that they are not going to sign next contract. And she does understand that now she can register for unemployment benefit in UWV, and after maternity leave benefit if there are any benefits, or how she can manage the situation. Does she have any options in her situation? And actually, I think the main question is actually legal to do some if we are considering about actions of the company, it's actually legal from their side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. When the employer ends the contract because of the pregnancy, then it's not allowed. It's very difficult to prove that he will end the contract because of the pregnancy. But when you have proof, for example, an email or something like that, then you can go to the court. But mostly it's very difficult. Then you have to go to the UWV. That's what you also said. And then you can ask for an employment benefit. And in the Netherlands, you also have the right of 60 weeks of benefits because of the pregnancy. It's 6 weeks before and 10 weeks after. And that's the period that you get 100% of your salary. Unemployment benefit is 70% of your salary. And after that, also the question is about the unemployment benefit. You have to work a longer time in the Netherlands. When you work for a too short time, then you didn't have any rights. You have to work for at least a half year. Then you have for a short period the right to unemployment benefit. And after that, you can get the benefit because of the pregnancy. And after that, when there are no more rights of the unemployment benefit, you have to go also to the local government also the sociale dienst to ask for benefit, and that is a little bit lower than the unemployment benefit. So yeah, you have three, that person has three kinds of benefits. What's possible?
Okay.
Yeah.
How she can actually gain the benefits from her employer, because the employer said that they will finish her contract, and the question is how if it's possible, of course, how she can find any benefits via her employer, if it's possible, of course. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, not for her employer, but she has to go to the UWV. I can put the link to the website in the chat, because she has to contact them and tell them that the employer ends the contract, and she has also tell them that she is pregnant.
Okay,
She
well,
has to
she
go
has
there.
no. Okay, she has no, she doesn't have any opportunities, any chance to prove that, for example, her employer wants to end the contract because of her pregnancy. It's really hard way to.
Yes,
I
it's
mean, yeah,
really hard.
to defend it.
Yes, it is possible in the Netherlands to end a temporary contract with a fixed term, to end that during the pregnancy. It's possible. It's only not possible and not allowed when it is because of the pregnancy. But yeah, sometimes people has the feeling that it is because of the pregnancy, but they can't prove. Only when you can prove that he ends the contract because of the pregnancy, then you have the chance to go to court and ask for some financial debt, but it's really hard.
Of course, I got you. Okay, thank you so much. Пані Алла, ви на місці? Ви все чули? Чи вам треба перекласти? Бо я написала, написала англійською. Чи треба допомога з перекладом та поясненням відповіді пані Олександри, пані Саші? Пані Алло?
Адель, я думаю, треба перекласти, можливо, ще для когось це буде корисним.
Так, окей, тоді давайте я перекладу так. Щодо відповіді, тобто, який був кейс? Пані задала питання, щодо вона вагітна, і контракт закінчується 12 грудня. Вона сказала, що вони не будуть підписувати з нею новий контракт, і вона просто розуміє, що вона в ситуації, коли їй потрібно, вона не може, скажімо так, немає ніякої можливості підписати новий контракт зі своїм роботодавцем, і які в неї можуть бути вирішені її проблеми. Тож пані Олександра, Саша, наш юрист, сказала, що один з в цілому кращих варіантів вирішення цієї проблеми є звернення до UWV. Це організація, тобто це урядова організація, яка допомагає людям по безробіттю. Тобто ви туди звертаєтесь, по-моєму, якщо так, там вона є написана в чаті, назва UWV. Вона, по-моєму, пишеться ось так, я все раз напишу, але то можете подивитися. Ось, і звертаєтесь до них і кажете про те, що в мене така проблема, в мене мій роботодавець не хоче підписувати новий контракт. І також, якщо ви, наприклад, ви вагітні, чи там ви там маєте ще інші обставини, дуже такі важливі, які треба знати їм, тобто певні зміни статусу, можливо, ви там одружитесь, ще що завгодно, але частіше всього це за вагітність, тобто це вже те, що я знаю, і додаю те, що вона сказала. Ось, в цілому, щодо benefits, тобто основних таких переваг, ви отримуєте, коли ви звертаєтесь до UWV, ви отримуєте 70% вашої оцеї заробітної плати, можливої заробітної плати. Якщо ваш емплоєр, наприклад, підписує з вами новий контракт, і ви продовжуєте працювати з ним, але ви ж вже ви на лікарняному, на відпустці по пологам, то ви отримаєте 100% вашої зарплати. Ось. А третій варіант – це йти до Хементи. Хемента в нас в цілому вирішує в нас питання щодо також і питання тільки щодо соціально захищених категорій осіб, а також і для тих, хто має певні проблеми з роботою. Ну, тобто, в даному випадку, як описала пані Алла. Дякую. Так, я бачила в чаті, що є питаннячко, зараз скажу. We have one more question from Sergey. Good evening. I would like to know what I have to do if my contract has finished and he sent the message, I would say even mail to his employer about finishing the contract, but he haven't get any information for 1 month, any response from his employer about, because he sent a message that he wants to finish the contract, but he didn't get any information for over than 1 month. What he has to do in this case? Thank you so much.
Okay, the employee sent a message.
Yeah.
He wants to end the contract. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Indeed. Do you know what kind of contract it is? Is it?
I don't know. Пан Сергій, чи можете ви сказати про те, що ви написали, що мій контракт завершено, а потім написали про те, що я відправив лист і протягом місяця не отримав заяву?
Ні. Дивись, він має на увазі, що він написав як електронного листа, що він хоче завершити контракт за місяць.
Ага,
Він хоче, але він не
думаю,
отримав
що...
ніякої відповіді від роботодавця. Але тут краще подзвонити і сказати також, що ви відправили листа. Але окей, нехай Саша відповість.
Окей, так, зараз, секундочку. Сергій, ви тут на місці, ви можете сказати нам, який саме у вас контракт був? І яка, в цілому, яка ще інформація з цього приводу є? We are waiting for response. Thank you.
Сергій, ви можете підключитися і голосом також промовити. Можливо, ще якась інформація буде важлива для Саші, щоб відповісти вам.
Yeah, in general, there are no rules in the law how you end the contract. So it's possible to do it by an email. Sometimes in the employment contract, they say you have to do it by letter or something like that. Then you have to do it in that way. But normally it's free and you can also send an email. The only thing is when the employer says you didn't end the contract, then you have to prove that you end the contract. So the best way to do it, so you can prove, is when you send them a letter with with the provement of the post office that he has to sign, the employer has to sign that he received the letter. Then for the judge, you have enough proof that you sent him the letter. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do. You mean like for example, if employer will do something against employer. I mean, like employer will do something against employee towards the thing that you didn't send me message well, you didn't send me this, something like this. He can sue them, right?
Yes, and then it's good to have the proof that you send the letter by post office, so you can then you have the proof, or fax. Then you also have the proof that you sent the message. By an email, sometimes you have the internet's not so good or something like that. It's not always that the other party received the email, but yeah, that's only when the employer says you didn't send me the message.
Okay, we got more information regarding his case. He said that he has a contract where appearing the quantity of hours, and he didn't worked for last month, I would say, and he didn't get payment for that. That's why he wants quit. But yeah, it's a question how he can confirm that employer will not have any questions towards him, why you are not at work and so on. Well, because he didn't get any response from his employer about proving that we are finishing the contract with you. Thank you so much, for example. Yeah, bye. He didn't get any information like this. Well, what he has to do, and he got information. I get information that he has a contract where appearing the quantity of the hours. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on the contract if it's allowed to end the contract or not. But when it is allowed, then I will advise him to send the letter that he can prove, or by fax that he can prove that he ends the contract. Then it's not necessary to get an answer from the employer.
Okay, I'm just writing down information about that, just because I just want to ask some additional question, because it was very interesting. The part of the case when he says that he haven't worked for 1 month, and he haven't get any payment for that, and that's why he wants to quit. He didn't get a payment because he quit, or he didn't get a payment because of another reason, and I'm just like curious about it as well. What is the reason? But I think that because maybe they ended the contract, this is my opinion, he just ended the contract and they didn't notify him. But maybe do we have any is there any requirements about it? Should employers do that? Should employers notify employee about finishing the contract? Do you have any
No.
rules? No.
No, it's not necessary. No, it's only mostly it's allowed to end the contract. So when you tell the employer I end the contract, that's okay like that. It's not necessary that the employer confirm that or something like that. So normally it's not a problem. Only when the employer said you didn't end the contract, then it's nice to have the proof that you end the contract. But it is and there are no rules in the Netherlands that you end the contract there are no rules about ending the contract. Sometimes only in the employment agreement, but not in the law.
Так, щодо відповіді Саші щодо цього кейсу з паном Сергієм. Значить, питання стосувалося того, чи пан Сергій він відправив листа, вже написав, що він відправив електронного листа і дзвонив їм з проханням закінчити контракт, тобто і не було ніякої відповіді, що від роботодавця щодо самого тут відповіді, чи є реально закінчений контракт, чи що треба в цьому робити. Пані Саша відповіла, що в нідерландських законах немає чіткої вимоги роботодавця повідомляти якось про закінчення контракту, тобто це більш узгоджується на особистому такому відношеннях між роботодавцем і працівником. Законного регулювання, тобто в законі нічого про це не написано, скажімо так. Ось, і в цілому це була основна відповідь. Також, якщо є у вас докази до того, що, наприклад, ваш роботодавець отримав листа і каже, що він його не отримав, Наприклад, це може бути, якщо ви пошту відправляєте, ви можете це там можна подивитися по почті. Також це можна використовувати і в суді, тобто піти і відсудити, скажімо так, якщо роботодавець від вас щось вимагає на підставі того, що він щось якби не отримав. Тобто це вже залежить від вашої комунікації з роботодавцем, але знову ж таки в законі написано про те, що роботодавець повинен вам говорити про закінчення самого контракту. Thank you so much, Sacha, for great answer. We got another question. Good evening. Please help me with the following question. I work through an outsourcing agency, and sometimes I am sent to different companies with varying hourly rates, payments. On one assignment, they pay extra for work on Saturdays or Sundays, while on another, they do not. Could you explain what determines this? Perhaps you have explained it before, but I joined a bit later. Maybe you can explain how does it work. Did you get the question? Should I, because maybe it was too much.
Yeah, if you can repeat a little bit.
Of course, yeah, of course,
Okay,
of course.
okay.
Well, the case, I work through an outsourcing agency, and sometimes he send
Uitzendbureau,
it
he
to,
works.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah.
he send it to different companies, yeah, with very early rates, payments, you know, like in that company pays like one quantity of money, the another pays another. Okay, and and for example, on one company, he can get payments for work on Sundays and Saturdays, and in another company that this rule doesn't work. I mean, extra payment for weekends work. How does it work in the Netherlands? Should all companies pay for your work on weekends? And actually, thank you so much for answering.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's clear. No, it's not the same for every company in the Netherlands. It depends on sometimes the company, sometimes the sector. You have to look in the collective agreement what the rules are about that and about payment on Saturday and Sunday, for example. Do you know collective agreements?
I do know what does it mean.
Say,
of course,
oh,
yes,
yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Yes, I mean, just for example, if it's even outsourcing agency, should this be managed by them or only by person? Because outsourcing manager is like kind of like broker, and actually that company doesn't do anything regarding low cases at work and stuff like this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you have to, you have a contract with the agency. So that agency, you have to look what kind of collective agreement is there. Mostly it's ABU or NBBU, but you have to check. And the company where are you working for, the payment is mostly the same as the other people there, but it depends on the company what kind of salary they pay. So it can be different, but to check what the salary is, yeah, I have to see the documents, but it is in the collective agreement what they have to pay.
Well,
And
collective
the
agreement.
information, and I think that's your question. Information, the agency has to give you the information what the salary is, so you can check if it's the good salary.
Okay, for example, do you mean collective agreement of agency, of collective agreement of the company? Because I don't know how does it work in the Netherlands with agencies. I mean, agency, you sign contract directly with agency, and agency just send you somewhere for some positions, for some jobs into different companies. Like, for example, Randstad can send you work in Rotterdam Central, then Ahoy, and somewhere in Den Haag. And you're just like, okay, what I have to do? And the different companies, and they within one company, Den Haag, they pay you like, I don't know, 10 euros, and another company pay you 9 euros, and another company you have to work on Sunday, and they don't pay for you at all. And how does it work? How you can manage? It's like, I mean, that actually.
Yeah. It is difficult because the company where are you are working, so not the Randstad, but the company in Rotterdam, for example, that's the salary that you have to get. And also Randstad has to tell you what the salary is, and also the company, so you can check if it's okay. But the different companies where are you work for, so they can pay you another amount, because other companies has other rules, other collective agreements. The rule is that you has to get the same salary as the other employees working on that place.
Okay, and for example, Randstad as an outsourcing agency has to notify about everything like this. And if they didn't, what's gonna happen?
They have to tell you what the salary is. You can set that they have that you have the right to get that information, and also go to the company and said that you want that information.
Okay, and what about consequences? For example, if Randstad didn't tell you anything about the salary, you are expecting one thing, you come to work and you finish your work and you get another thing. What's gonna happen in that case, for example?
What do you mean with another thing?
I mean, for example, Randstad as a travel agency didn't tell you about the salary for this company. You expecting that you will get 11 euros for 1 hour, and at the end of the work in that company, you got 10 euros per hour, and they say like, okay, sorry, it's like nothing. Should Randstad have any responsibility for that, because they didn't tell you properly about the information? What kind of responsibility actually?
Yes, you can go to Randstad and ask for the salary, but are the rights of you.
Окей, thank you so much. Так, щодо питання Анатолія, щодо цієї агенція роботи, яка відправляє на різні компанії, агенція повинна вас повідомляти в першу чергу про те, куди при тим, як ви кудись там йдете, на яку компанію, повинна повідомляти про деталі, про певні деталі, аспекти колективного договору. Колективний договір – це договір з працівниками і роботодавцем, там правила різні визначаються, також визначається зарплата в Нідерландах. І оця компанія, яка у вас як агенція виступає вам, повинна вас повідомляти, що в цій компанії, там компанія товариство Ромашка вам буде платити там 10 євро в годину. І вам про це повинні сказати, щоб у вас не було або там певних, можливо, або певних очікувань і так далі. Тобто ви маєте право на цю інформацію перед тим, як іти туди. Тобто це основний кейс. І деякі компанії не доплачують вам за певні вихідні і так далі. Тобто це працює, це є таке. Тобто це повинно бути, це залежно просто в колективному договорі самої компанії, і вас повинно бути ознайомити з цим перед тим, як вас надсилати кудись. Тобто ви повинні бути ознайомлені з цим. І ви можете спокійно питати про цю інформацію у вашої компанії, яка вас набирає підсилає вас на роботу. Чи є якісь ще питання з пана Анатолія? І якщо ні, то я переходжу на інше питання.
Це Сергій Сергій
Ось,
відповів, пам'ятаєш,
так.
була ситуація попередня, так.
Так, звісно, я пам'ятаю. Окей, our case regarding Sergey, who has problem with responding, with communication with employer, with employer. He asking us, what's gonna happen if that contract that he had is not finished? I don't know why, because of not responding of the employer or whatever. For example, it's not finished, yeah, the contract that didn't finish by them, yeah, by employers. What's gonna happen with taxes? Does he has any problem with taxes? Will he have any problem in taxes in future? Because of the contract, because he didn't finish the contract and he start new work, and how is it gonna work in his case?
Yeah, in that case, I think he didn't get any salary anymore, right?
Yeah, he didn't get any salary anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's no problem with taxes, because when you get the salary, the employer pays the taxes to the Belastingdienst. And when there is no salary anymore, you didn't have to pay taxes for that.
Okay, well, contract. If for example, Sergey, doesn't get the payment, that means that perhaps his contract has finished, right?
Yes.
Perhaps.
Yeah, the taxes company in the Netherlands never control if there is still an employment contract or something like that.
Well,
no.
No salary, no problems, right?
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
Так, thank you so much for responding. Сергій, щодо вашого питання про податки, не буде у вас ніяких проблем з податками. Я підсумувала в кінці, немає зарплати, немає проблем з податками, скажімо так. Податково не контролює ваші там контракти, ще щось, тобто просто контролюють сам процес отримання зарплати. Зарплата йде, відраховуються певні там податкову. Не йде, проблем немає. Тобто ви беріть, нічого не буде ніяких проблем. Так, дякую за запитання. Thank you so much for responding. It was really interesting.
Можливо, ще в когось є запитання?
Так.
Давайте, якщо у вас є, задавайте.
Так,
якщо...
можна запитати?
Так.
Звісно.
Перше питання в мене буде про заробітну плату, яке зараз я сформулюю. Ось дивіться, відсоток, який вичисляється на користь держави, так? 37% на рік. Якщо взяти зарплату, мінімалку 1950 і мінус 37%, то це виходить мінус 740 євро. Чому платять 1787 євро? Це ніяк не 37% на рік податковий налог.
Так.
І друге питання можна? З приводу експлуатації труда. Дивіться, я працюю водієм, так? Я катаю працівників, будівників по об'єктам. От. Працюю 6 днів на тиждень і по часу від 6 до 12 годин. Але останні 2 місяці у мене так виходить, що я працюю, в середньому, якщо посчитати, да, там один день 10, другий день 12, третій день 9, десь 9,5 годин на день. А мінімалку зарплату в мене виходить, більше мені не платять. І у мене немає, я не можу довести докази, що я працюю там по 12 годин на день замість 8. Тобто я прийшов на роботу, сів за руль, забрав робітників, розвіз їх і далі там то інструменти привезти, то стройматеріали, то ще щось. І так катаюсь туди-сюди по всім Нідерландам, Дордрехт, там Денах, потім Роттердам, ну, от тут в окружності. Так, по 12 годин, допустим, я катаюсь. І мінімалку получаю. А доказати, скільки годин я працюю, я не можу. Що мені робити в цьому випадку?
Так, дякую за запитання. Можете, будь ласка, уточнити, що це перше питання, просто хочу його сформувати. Можете, будь ласка, його ще раз сформувати, бо ви питали
Дивіться.
про відсоток від... Да.
Так, податок на заробітну плату. Дивіться, на сайті написано, що 37%, ну, грубо, там, 36 з копійками подоходний, так? Мінімальна заробітна плата 1950 на даний момент в Нідерландах. А якщо відмінусувати від цієї заробітної плати 37%, то це виходить від 1950 мінус 740 євро. Але мінусують менший відсоток, бо на руки чистими грошима, не бруто, а нетто, виходить 1787 із 1950. Тому я не розумію, як вираховувати податковий налог з заробітної плати.
І тобто, як саме він враховується податковими службами, податковими органами, да, скажімо так?
Так,
Тобто, як саме
так,
працює
так.
податкова система?
Бо якщо так як на сайті написано, відмінусувати 37%, то це аж ніяк не 1787, а набагато менше. І
Окей,
як
я
вам...
зрозуміла це питання. Да. Окей, well, yeah, thank you. Дякую. Так, зараз прикладемо. Значить, перше, the first question was about tax system in the Netherlands. The question is many websites, many official information regarding tax system in the Netherlands shows that the minimal tax fee is 37%, and the minimum the minimal payment is 1,850 euros. If we will do this math, how to say if we will count, we will get 1,950 minus 37% is 740, equally 740. But the question is, at the end of this counting, the employers they are getting more than websites says, because the quantity after minusing taxes should be less than they got. Actually, how does it work? How they are getting more than they should get? Because actually, say 37% is actually in the end will be another. It will be another quantity of money. The question is why? How does it work? How does it actually how does tax system work? And the first question.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not a tax specialist.
Okay,
but
maybe
I can explain a little bit how it works. You have different taxes in the Netherlands. You have the taxes what you have to pay about your income. That's the percentage of 37. What you tell. That's the employer pays it to the tax office, the Belastingdienst in the Netherlands. You have also pay for social security it's and sickness health care. That are also two things what you can see on your salary paper, what you get from your employer. That are also taxes what you have to pay.
Okay, well, there are two types of taxes. The 37% is paid by your employer, and you have to pay another taxes by yourself, if I'm not mistaken. Or everything was paid by your employer.
Yeah, everything will paid by your employer, and normally you have to tell the Belastingdienst once a year what your income is. And then the Belastingdienst will check if it's already paid by the
Okay.
employer. If it's not, or if it's not enough, then you have to pay it by yourself. But normally, when you only have a job with a vast income, then all the taxes will pay by the employer, so you have to do nothing by yourself.
Okay, sometimes there may be possibilities that employer they don't pay enough taxes to the government, and that's why they can give to their employee much more than, for example, official website says. That's why, maybe, because the question was why the difference. Website say that I have to get this, and website information is less. The quantity is less than I get. Actually, that was the question. Maybe because employers are doing something with the taxes, wherever.
Yeah, you mean that the website says that you have to pay a lower amount than what the employer takes from your salary?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Maybe something like that.
Yes, but I think
no. I think that employer, for example, the website says that you have to get at the end of the month, you have to get 150, for example, $150, yes. But your employers give you 160 euros, and actually, why the difference between these 10 euros? Maybe the employers make mistakes.
Yeah, we have a very difficult tax system because there are different discounts that you can ask. So then you have to pay lower taxes,
Okay.
a lower amount. For example, everyone has the right to the algemene heffingskorting. That is one discount that you have. It's possible that makes the difference. Or another discount is the arbeidskortings, also Dutch name, is a discount because you are working for the cost that you have to make for work sometimes.
Okay.
So there are many discounts. In general, I think it's there that's the difference because of the discounts. But I have to check the documents when you want to know it for sure. But normally you can trust that it's okay, like do paying by the employer.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Sacha,
Okay,
I would like to ask one question. Look, Netherlands has also Dutch income calculator in Google. So I mean that he also can count this, for example, put information about his salary for 1 year and how many hours, and he will see like netto salary. Yeah, is it?
Yes. It's
also
also possible to do that. Yeah.
Окей, I will translate that.
Okay.
Так, щодо кейсу з податками, тобто перше питання було про податок. Пані Олександра сказала про те, що Пані Саша, вибачте, сказала нам про те, що податки плачуться в цілому нашими працівниками, цими роботодавцями. Тобто всі, якщо є певна різниця, то це можливо через те, що у вас є певні ці податкові знижки, вони називаються. Там їх дуже багато видів. І пані Євгенія відсилала в чат сайт, де детальну інформацію про цю tax system, тобто ця податкова система в Нідерландах. Але в цілому переживати вам нема за що. Я переживала б за другий кейс, зараз я його розкладу, там, де ви працюєте по багато годин. Так ось, тобто за податки, за вами, тобто все повинно платитися за вас. Ви в цілому це вже не маєте ніякого відношення, скажімо так. Тобто роботодавець зайнятий тим, щоб ваші податки платилися вчасно і правильно. Це була моя, тобто, відповідь на перше питання. Щодо другого питання. Okay, the next question is really interesting and regarding law cases in liberal law. I would say really liberal law. Okay, what the question is? The Mr. If I'm not mistaken, Sergey, he is a driver. He works as a driver. And yeah, I don't know what the name of his company where he's working for, but he's working for 6 days per week, and he doesn't have any regulations regarding working hours. For example, one day he can work 9 hours, another day it will be 12 hours. Nothing about fixing of those hours, and at the end of the month he got only minimal salary because there are no proof that he works more than 8 hours. And that was the question, what he can do in this case. I think it's really interesting case, and I think a lot of people have this when you are under pressure from your employer, you have your rights are under the law, and yeah, you have to defend your rights, your labor rights, actually. Thank you so much.
Yes, there is a lot here. First of all, you have working time law, so it's not allowed in the Netherlands to work too many hours on a day or too many hours in a week or something like that. So there are rules that's how many hours it is allowed to work. The second thing is, yeah, when you work, you have to pay for that. It's not allowed to only pay the minimum income. When you pay more, you have to get a higher salary. What kind of salary it is, it depends on the appointments in the employment agreement and the collective agreement. So he has to check there. But I think when it's possible that he gets too low salary, then he has to go to the employer and write a letter, for example. And when the employer do nothing, yeah, he can go to court for that. He can go to juridisch loket, for example. They can send a letter when the salary is too low, and if it's necessary, they can send him to a lawyer to go to court to ask for more salary. And another thing is, normally it's not. Sometimes you have there are kinds of contracts then you didn't have the hours. So it depends on the week how many hours you have to work. Most of the contracts in the Netherlands has appointments about the hours that you have to work in a week, but it's not always. When you didn't have any hours in the contract, for example, it's 0 hours, then you have the possibility to look to the 3 months before now, and how to say, have a look. And the average of that hours of that 3 months, you can ask, for example, it's 32 hours. You can say to the employer, I want that 32 hours for the rest of the contract.
Okay, well, you mean like the best or decision in this case is just like simple, maybe like, I don't know, to make an appointment with us as a legal team to write to
Yeah,
us as a
I
legal
think.
team and just, yeah, and just we
Because
can
there
help
are,
him to report. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because there are a few things where you have to look, because maybe it's not how to say, I think the working time law is an issue. Maybe there are too many hours, and maybe the salary is not okay, and maybe also the contract is not okay. So there are different ways, maybe, what we can do to make the appointments better.
Okay, well, he has to get as much as he can information about his case, and he can just simply report to us, and we can just help him with this case. Окей, так, щодо вашого питання, пане Сергію, ми пропонуємо вам звернутися до юриста, якщо у вас є така можливість, щодо вирішення вашого кейсу, бо у вас є наявна трудова експлуатація, факт трудової експлуатації, тому що зарплата у вас, то кількість годин не нормована, кількість, тобто, факт на факті, години не нормовані, зарплата не нормована, контрактом треба ще розбиратися, треба дивитися на ваші документи, які у вас там є права і так далі. Ви можете звернутися до нас, до Legal Team в Опорі. Ми можемо вас направити вже до юристів. Пані Євгенії, можливо, ви можете в цьому плані сказати, як можемо працювати з Опорою в цьому випадку?
Дивіться, ви безпосередньо можете або звернутися до Head Юридиш Локет, я скину зараз посилання, або спробувати також до Fairwork, вони займаються трудовою експлуатацією. Але щоб у вас був ваш трудовий договір, щоб ви їм відправили для надання точної консультації вам.
Так, дякую.
Я скину зараз посилання.
Okay, thank you so much for responding, Sasha. We got one more question. Maria, you can ask us, you can start. Ви можете починайте, будь ласка, чекаємо.
Yes, hello, good evening. I will start in English and then I will translate in Ukrainian. And I would like to say thank you for your time and this great webinar. And I would like to hear your opinion about the sick leave, but about the sick leave in a situation when employee decided to go to another country to have a health care there, for example, in Ukraine. And because maybe for not all Ukrainians is obvious that they must visit Dutch doctor at the sick leave. It's not that easy procedure in the Netherlands. And for example, if they would like to have a sick leave more than a few days, like a week or 2 weeks or maybe 1 month, and probably they need a surgery, but they prefer to have it in another country. So in this case, employer couldn't be in touch with employee, like to control the situation, to send the employee to the doctor of the company. And I would like to hear your opinion about it. And could it be a reason to stop a contract with such employee? Because employer, for example, couldn't check, is employee honest with this situation or not? Thank you, and I will translate it to Ukrainian. Доброго вечора, я дуже вдячна за ваш час і цей чудовий вебінар. Моє питання стосується лікарняного. І саме лікарняного у випадках, коли працівник приймає рішення отримати медичну допомогу в іншій країні, не в Нідерландах, для прикладу, в Україні. І коли цей лікарняний стосується не декількох днів, а більш тривалого періоду, для прикладу, тиждень, декілька тижнів, можливо, місяць. І коли працівник не зовсім ознайомлений з правилами перебування на лікарняному, при необхідність звернутися до нідерландського лікаря, але в той же час такий працівник, можливо, має необхідність звернутися по хірургічну допомогу і приймає це рішення поїхати до іншої країни. Чи може такий випадок стати причиною для припинення контракту у зв'язку з тим, що роботодавець не може дотримуватися своєї процедури контролю працівника, необхідності зв'язатися такого працівника із доктором підприємства і перевірити, чи дійсно працівник був щирим і відвертим в тому питанні, що він пішов на лікарняний. Дякую.
Okay, thank you for your question. It's not allowed to fire someone because of illness. Normally, when there is when someone is ill, the employer asks the company doctor to check if it's if someone is really sick. And I understand you. In this case, it is about an operation in another country. My advice is to go to the employer and explain. It's not a reason to fire someone, but when you have a temporary contract, it's possible to end the contract. But my advice is to tell the employer, and mostly it's possible to get some proof from the doctor in the other country, that you can prove the company doctor that you get the surgery, for example. I think that's the best thing to do. But it depends on what kind of surgery it is. Is it necessary to get that surgery, or is it because of other reason? So there are some questions about that, and how long will it take? Maybe you can tell something about it.
I heard about the different cases, but in general, maybe for the others, it also would be interesting to hear about the procedure of a sick leave in the Netherlands. And I know that, for example, sometimes the doctor and employer could make an offer to employee, like to change a position in a company because for a situation with the health, they couldn't do some specific job. And in this case, if a person abroad, I think it's not really possible to agree and to do some other things, some other job at the same company. So I'm curious, is it possible? Sorry. I'm curious, is it possible if employer couldn't be in touch with doctor of the company and employer and couldn't accept this offer to do some other job during this period? So couldn't it be a reason to stop a contract, like one of the risks for employee in such situation? And I will translate it, or maybe later it's better for you.
What you want?
Я уточнила щодо питання, зустрічалася з різними випадками, але момент в тому, що в Нідерландах є спеціальна процедура, і коли людина тривалий час перебуває на лікарняному, роботодавець разом із лікарем можуть дійти висновку, що ця людина не може виконувати певний вид роботи на підприємстві, але вони можуть запропонувати цьому працівнику виконувати іншу роботу на цьому ж підприємстві. Тобто це передбачено самою процедурою. І моє питання в тому, чи не може бути ризиком припинення контракту, якщо людина в цей момент знаходиться за кордоном і по факту не може прийняти цю пропозицію, не може погодитися виконувати іншу роботу і продовжує перебувати за кордоном. Тобто, чи не є сам факт того перебування за кордоном під час лікарняного причини недотримання цієї процедури, яка передбачена нідерландським законодавством?
Yeah, I understand what you mean because normally in the Netherlands when you are sick and it is possible to do other work, then you have to do that. And when you are in another country, it's not possible to do another job. So yeah, that's difficult. The possibilities for the employer is to stop paying salary in that case. When it's possible to do other work, yeah, you have to do other work. But yeah, when you are in another country, it's not a possibility for you. So yeah, I think the best thing to do is to make appointments with the employer, or maybe it's better to ask some days holiday that you take off, so it's possible to do the surgery. Yeah, but it depends also on what the exactly situation is. For example, you have something with your leg, and it's sometimes it's, or you have a very serious sickness where it's not possible to do any other job because it's not possible to come to your work. Then it's another situation. Then you have something with your feet and you can do a lot of other jobs. And you go to another country to do the surgery here, and maybe it's also possible in the Netherlands. So it depends on the exactly situation what the best thing to do, and what's a good idea, and what the employer can ask you or not. But in general, it is when it's possible for you to do other work, you have to do it. And when you do not, then it's a possibility for the employer to stop the paying salary. Because when you are sick in the Netherlands, the employer has to pay your salary, sometimes the total amount and sometimes a percentage. By law, it's a percentage of 70%. But in a lot of contracts or collective agreements, it is a higher percentage. And mostly in the beginning periods, it is the whole amount. I hope this is an answer of your question.
Yes, thank you.
Перекласти в цілому відповіді, чи я... Давайте,
Так,
щоб
так,
було зрозуміло всім, про
так,
що
приклади.
говорилося.
Приклади, будь ласка.
Так, ну питання всі ж чули щодо ризику самого завершення самого контракту. І головна відповідь – це все залежить від ситуації. Тобто бувають такі ситуації, коли є певні, наприклад, людина захворіла, чи щось, в неї треба робити якусь операцію, але її можливо зробити в Нідерландах, скажімо так. Тобто все залежить такої і від умов колективного договору, бо в деяких випадках, ну, в цілому, бо по закону в Нідерландах платять 70% від вашої зарплати. І треба дивитися ще на ваш колективний договір, скільки у вас там зазначено, або скільки вам будуть платити, якщо ви захворіли. Ну, якщо ви захворіли, і у вас є лікарняні, то це буде 70% по закону і може бути більше по колективному договору. В даному випадку є ризик того, що вам просто призупинять виплату вашої зарплати, ваш емплоєр, ваш роботодавець, і, ну, тобто, ще треба дивитися на ситуацію з різних боків, оцінювати саму обстановку, тобто, що саме, які обставини, чому ви в Україні, там, чи там десь ще щось, тобто, це вже залежить від самої конкретної ситуації. Так, у нас є питання, we have one more question about chronic illness. Well, for example, an employee has a chronic illness and he or she needs to visit a doctor, approximately 1 per quarter. Does the employee have a right to payment for the time spent visiting the doctor? I mean, yeah, the employee visit the doctor, and does he or she have a right to get payment for this time visiting doctor?
Yeah, normally you had the right to get the salary because sometimes it's necessary to go to the doctor. But it's different when you are working 5 days. Yes, when you're working 1 day a week, it's I think it's possible to go to the doctor on another day. So it depends on the situation. But normally, when you have a full-time job, it has to be possible for you to go to the doctor or to the dentist or something like that.
Yeah, but the problem is the person has a chronic illness, which means that he or she has to go to the doctor each period of the time. For example, in our case, we have requirement for visiting doctor every quarter of the year, which means that person with chronic illness can't skip or postpone the appointment to the doctor for the doctor, which actually the medical system in the Netherlands is considered to be difficult, especially if you're doing an appointment. And if person has a chronic illness and she has to go to the doctor to check her, to make a checkup, for example, and she can't postpone this meeting, this appointment, I mean, what kind of consequences can be there, because the person has chronic illness and she has to visit this doctor. She's not just because she wants, because she has to every period of the time. And can this person get any payment for time spent by visiting the doctor?
Yeah, I have to think, because do you know how many times is it, for example? Is it every week or
every quarter?
Okay,
like every
yeah. I think the employer has to has to give you the possibility to go to the doctor. Yeah, and I think also payment, but it's not an acute situation, so that's another rule in the law. So it's possible to check it later and let it know to you, Yevgenia. Because I'm not sure if it's every quarter you have to go to the doctor, if you have the right to get the salary.
Але, здається, написали, що працює повний робочий день, 38 годин. Yeah, this woman works full-time, 38 hours. So I think in this case, they must refund this by I mean, by money, by salary.
Yeah, I think also,
Maybe.
yeah.
They can just like make her account for her, right? Or just like to pay for this. Like actually, the case, how does it work?
Yeah, because you have a lot of rules in the Netherlands when it is when you have to go to the doctor or something like that, when it's unexpected. But in this case, you make the appointment, but yeah, it's not possible to do it on other time, I think, because it is a full-time job. So I think you get the right for salary, yes, but for sure, I want to check which rule it is in the law. Then that person can also tell the employer, because I think she didn't get salary at this moment, right?
I will ask her for this. Пані Катерино, якщо не помиляюсь, так, це ваше питання було. Чи ви отримуєте зарплату за оці дні, коли вам треба йти до лікаря, чи ні? Будь ласка, відповідіть, чи можете відповісти на це питання щодо зарплати? Чи ви отримуєте її? І в цілому, як цей процес відбувається? Тобто вам роботодавець платить за це, чи він каже, що нічого не буде платити? Ну, тобто, яка комунікація
Можливо, вам
відбувається?
зручніше голосом сказати
Да,
це питання.
голосом
Воно буде
скажіть,
швидше
якщо.
просто.
We are waiting for a response. Meanwhile we are waiting, we can answer for another question really quickly. How we can improve our healthy state? How does it work? Because should we have any special document from gemeente? Maybe, I don't know. How does it work in the Netherlands? For example, if a person has any problems with a chronic illness, forever, maybe house art, I don't know. Maybe you know, I think you know better.
Yes, there are documents and brochures about that. I can look for that.
Okay, great, thank you.
Ви можете
ви
це
на місці?
питання. Ви можете це питання також задати. Sasha, you will send it later, yeah? I mean, you will send it now, or you can send it
No,
later
maybe
to me?
it's better to send it later, then I can search on the internet what's the best document.
Тоді, Катерино, я вам рекомендую надіслати це запитання на нашу Google форму.
Okay, no, really.
І я вам тоді надам відповідь з цим посиланням, що дасть мені Саша.
We got information that they agreed about break, pause. they agreed that she can visit her doctor on her break, but it's impossible to fit in the time, because 30 minutes is not enough for a doctor. And actually, what about the break? What about the right? What about the how to say the right of having a break and so on? I don't know, things like this. Because in Ukraine we do have this право на відпочинок. I forgot how it's called in English.
Right for
Like, you know what I mean?
holiday.
Right for not holiday, but I mean the відпочинок.
For rest.
For rest, yeah, for rest during the time, during the working time and so on. Because if her employer says that you can go to your doctor on your break, which means that she will not have any proper rest from the work. And actually, how does it work? Do you know something about it?
І там було ще запитання, здається, в чаті. Можливо, воно буде останнім.
Так. I asked about the special set of documents, how we can improve that, we can approve that the person has any disabilities with the health. How does it work with improvement of health state, of health conditions? How does it work in the Netherlands? How we can get any documents, maybe from gemeente, maybe from our family doctor. Well, as much as we can, we have to know for us.
Так, я відправила в чат Google форму. Якщо надішліть ваше запитання Катерину сюди, і ми відповімо вам з приводу, яким нормативним актом так регулюється, Саша відправить.
Да, і в цілому, да, нормативні акти, і в цілому питання про нормативне регулювання цього питання щодо як вона ж має хронічне захворювання, яке вона має право, які права регулюються в питанні відвідування лікаря і отримання заробітної плати.
А, вона вже щось відправила. Саша, did you already send this, yes, about this information?
Yeah, that is
It
what
sounds
I found is the patiëntenorganisatie. They have a lot of information about this. Also tips what you have to tell to your employer and what you didn't have to tell and something like that. But I will also mail you on a later time with more information about this.
Okay, and also about set of documents, right? About improving of health conditions, right? It was another question over there about health condition, how does it work, how we can improve it, and so on.
Вона також, да, пізніше надійшла інформацію. Тому ви надішліть свій запит через нашу Google форму, я вам відповім, бо вона мені надійшла.
Okay.
Добре, тоді ми закінчуємо, бо вже планували годину-півтори.
Thank you so much for great answer. Thank you so much for everybody for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for responding, Sasha. It was a great time with you. Thank you.
Sasha, thank you very much for your efforts and for your very useful answers. Thank you very much.
Yes, it was really interesting.
І дякую всім, хто доєднався за ваші запитання. Дякую, Адель, за чудовий переклад. Дякую, Олеся, за відповіді в чаті. Дякую всім. Тому запис проводився, я вам надішлю посилання на запис. Окей. Окей, thank you very much, Sasha.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Tot ziens.